What I would call the main event of your Christmas decorating. And boy, I wish we had more time on this because there's a lot of ground to cover in terms of the technology and how it looks and your choices. So let me just start with the basics. And then I'm gonna turn Alexandra Baker loose so that she can do her thing. You choose it, do you want it in the classic green or do you want it with flocking? So that's number one. I will point out the flocking is very, very subtle. I'm really, really impressed by this. And then you choose it in your height. Do you want it in the 4.5? Do you want it in, I was looking for the 6 foot. So that'd be your 4.5 back there. Do you want it in the 6 foot? Do you want it in the 7 foot? Or do you want it in the 8.5? So I'm assuming that's the 8.5 that we've got in our back corner. And then this would be the 7 foot, because I'm not 6 foot, so I'm narrowing my own field of choices. So this would be the 7 foot. And then I'll walk back to the 8.5 foot just real quickly because then I gotta turn Alexandra loose just so that you can get some scale or some perspective. If your ceiling will accommodate it, because a lot of homes have great rooms and taller ceilings, boy, oh boy, do that 8.5 foot. All right, I have to turn her loose because there's a lot of technology to talk about in addition to the striking perfection and beauty of this. So our BFF in our home, and especially for the holidays, Alexandra Baker is still here. Alexandra, I'm gonna turn things over to you for a few moments because I know we've got not as much time and there's a lot of stuff to cover. So I will let you share this amazing, magnificent tree.
This is really a beautiful tree. This is brought to us by American Tree and Wreath Company. And this is a company that's been around for over 100 years. And they just do incredible high quality product. And what I love about this tree, this is the most realistic spruce tree that I've ever seen. You know, a lot of us have it in our minds that the trees should be an A-line tree, you know, like what we're looking at here, a perfect A-line. But in nature, and in reality, if I were to go down to the nursery and choose a beautiful tree for my home, it would have this natural kind of coming out of the branches, going in a little bit, coming out a little bit, maybe a little bit wider on the bottom, but not a lot. So that is what I love so much about the tree. But one of the things that's so lovely is that it has, this is the 7 foot here in the green. It has 1,800 hand-strung fairy lights. These are very little lights, but they're just sweet and delicate. It does come with a remote control. I love that you don't see a lot of the wires. You know, on some trees, you see a lot of wiring. I don't see that here. Very easy to assemble. We call it the EZ technology. So the assembly is just so easy. Here I am with my loose ornaments. The bottom, you put the little T-stand on the ground, you drop in the bottom, plug it in, you will see the illumination start. You put in the middle section, you just drop it into the pole, takes 10 seconds, and here I am with the top, drop it into the pole, boom. See how it comes alive? Very easy to do, and everything is illuminated. I can put all my ornaments, decorate like crazy. But then I handle everything from the remote control. Now, if I start using the remote control like crazy in here, everything's gonna go dark because I still have my willow trees on, and the willow trees are going to, and yeah, there's all kinds of light interruption, but that's okay. Let's pretend I lost the remote control. And if you lose the remote control, all of the things that you can do with this tree are handled by the built-in pedal. The pedal and the electrical cord for the tree are all one piece and attached to the tree. Have you ever had a tree where the cord was a separate piece and then you misplace it over the years? This is the pastel. This is the multi, and the multi has just a little bit of the twinkling going on, just sweet and precious lighting. I push the button again, and now it's kind of fade and in. This is called overlit. The overlit technology, and I know that we never think that we can have too many lights on a tree, but the overlit technology is really when the changing of what the light pattern is doing is followed by the next. And so see how now it's kind of chasing and going into each of the different patterns. And if you're not sure what you like, you can even have it on demo mode where it will go through all of the different versions. It has 16 modes, including that demo mode. See how it's kind of running through all of them. But here it is. This is my favorite. This is, no, that's not my favorite. That's the pastel. This is the white with the twinkling. I love the warm white. And notice how it's not like a bright white. This is the warm white light that is almost like incandescent light. So Shannon, I just outlined all of the reasons why you should just fall in love with this tree. It's easy to assemble. It's that EZ technology. It's so realistic. It's a spruce. Oh, and last but not least, it's a nice size. I would call this a mid profile.
Yeah.
You know, the girth is not so overwhelming. See, I'm moving it away. This is the corner where I like to keep my master tree. And I can, you know, move all around it. It's not an overwhelming girth. So definitely a mid-profile tree that you will use for years.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
what's so good about the quality. You will use this for years.
You will indeed. By the way, I think we've got 12-month VIP financing on the 7 and the 8.5 foot, Steve. Is that what you... Oh, wow. No kidding. The 6, 7, and the 8.5 are on 12-month VIP financing on that HSN card. Hey, in terms of that girth that Alexandra was talking about, now I know the height varies, but about 46 inches in the diameter, which you're right. That is, you know, not quite where I can put my arms around it, but, you know, not too big, not too small, kind of like that Goldilocks size. I know this power technology is something that Alexandra was talking about, but Alexandra, a big thing for me, because I do all of the Christmas tree decorating in my house, and you know, when I go to my parents' farm, it drives me absolutely crazy when I'm hand stringing light upon lights upon lights, and then if you have one light burns out, then you know it's like the light goes. You never ever ever have to worry about that burnout factor with this, do you?
Have to worry about that. Takes seconds to put in. You just drop this into the pole, and wow, every time it's never let me down. And then if I need to, you know, center this, there you go. And then I can put in my decor. Wonderful quality, a wonderful investment, and everybody in the family will be happy because you have all of those different light modes. If you lose the remote, just use the pedal.
Absolutely, so either or. So we've got a last minute addition to this show, and then you can also check out our top 10 on hsn.com. This is actually number 1. I wish we had more time on this, doggone it, but time is what it is. I can't change that. So for those of you out there who are looking for the top 10 of our Christmas in July event, sorry guys, where do we have the fairy lights set up? Are we going right here? Okay. Do we have them encased in the garland? Is that what I'm doing? Okay, because we had a couple of last minute additions to the show. So trust me, I usually know what's going on, but what does Kelsey